Dear comrades, good morning to all and welcome. We give thanks to God for this memorable day that has allowed us to gather here. I wish you all a warm welcome to Burkina Faso, the land of upright people, for this first international forum, Invest in Burkina Faso. I would like to thank everyone who made the effort to come here, to come to Burkina Faso, despite everything that has been said about Burkina especially. It is the Western press that keeps trying to make people believe that Burkina Faso is an unlivable, unmanageable country. And despite that, you decided to come and participate in this forum. I want to say a special thank you to you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you all. I believe that this forum is a tremendous opportunity, first and foremost, to understand each other. For me, this first forum is not necessarily about deepening business relationships and so on, but above all, to understand Burkina Faso. So I immediately spoke about the perception of Burkina Faso by certain media, by certain nations. But the most important thing is to understand the revolution in Burkina Faso. And I think we are the only country in Africa that has declared a revolution. And it may be difficult for an investor to understand what a revolution is and how to invest in the context of a revolution. And I can assure you that in Africa, this may be the only opportunity available to invest safely. And everyone who comes to invest needs to understand this. For many years, a lot of investors have come to Burkina Faso. In this democracy we know, many who came from elsewhere have been betrayed, have been disappointed. Some have been swindled, some have been scammed. They were met with obstacles in the ministries. There have been many refusals of permits. They were confronted with corruption, with many issues that prevented them from establishing themselves in Burkina Faso. Some at least, and we say this because many investors have come back to us and explained all their misadventures in Burkina Faso during those democratic times. And that's the downside of politics in Africa. Today we are in a revolution and someone doesn't need to submit a permit application to spend years waiting. Or when it's requested, we rush to handle it. Before being able to set up, we do things with complete transparency. And that's what I want to say. So that's the first step to being able to enter Burkina Faso. All those hassles are now a thing of the past. And you can come and invest in Burkina Faso with complete peace of mind. Secondly, we have put in place a lot of legal safeguards, if I can put it that way, to secure investments. I think there is a whole range of regulations that you can read to better understand why we want to protect the investments of nationals and also those who come to invest in Burkina Faso. Because the revolution is a people's revolution. And when we say peoples, we have a very young population. And it would be disingenuous to proclaim online that we are fighting for youth employment without thinking about industry and processing. So investment. We believe that for young people to have jobs, we need to support industry, we need to support local processing. And so, who better than investors to support and provide jobs for the youth? And so this is also one of the missions of our revolution. And thank God, Burkina Faso is a very resilient country, very young and extremely hardworking. Today, we have a youth that is fully committed to work because we have managed to change many mindsets. We have gotten people back to work and the results are showing. So that's one more reason to be confident about investing in Burkina Faso and to have the necessary and qualified workforce to support you as well. Now, there's something else I wanted to say to your investors, and that's the unique character of Burkina Faso in Africa. Let's be honest, I just gave a few facts right now. Burkina is no longer in that mindset. You shouldn't come as an investor trying to bribe either the ministry, someone in the ministry, or the presidency in hopes of getting special advantages. We are eliminating corruption from our activities. You shouldn't come as an investor and think that Burkina Faso is like all the other countries in Africa either. Unfortunately, that's often the case. It goes on, people advocate for investment, but because of corruption, it turns into slavery. We are not following an investment model that exposes our youth to slavery and exploitation. No, that's why we want to do things transparently so that every party can benefit from investments in Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is a very rich country. I just mentioned our human resources. We have an immensely rich subsoil with various types of materials. We also have fertile land for agriculture, and the government is putting a lot of energy and money into supporting our producers. And so we have many other assets, integrity, values that can be leveraged in the field of investment. So I invite all of you to explore this range of possibilities, to look into it and understand that there are many opportunities in Burkina Faso, and we are here to provide sustainable support with mutual respect for investments in Burkina Faso. We want to process our raw materials locally. So we need industry. And when we talk about raw materials, we mean those from the subsoil. We want the limestone we have to be processed into clinker in Burkina Faso and then turned into cement. We want our phosphate to be processed locally into fertilizer. We want our dolomite to be processed into lime on site. We want our manganese to be processed locally. We want our copper to be processed locally as well, and so on. We have great potential in terms of minerals, but we want to exploit and process it locally for the benefit of the youth of Burkina Faso and the investors who will come. Our agricultural products also need to be processed much more locally. As I said, the state heavily subsidizes agriculture, and that's only natural. Burkina Faso is a major hub where we can set up many industries to produce everything we need and supply the rest of the world. Because we are fortunate to have a truly hardworking and dedicated youth, and they just need a little bit of an encouraging push to really get going and achieve their full potential. So, this presents an excellent and open opportunity for significant employment, and the state is absolutely open to actively partnering with you to comprehensively ensure that your valuable investment is completely secure, and that's a very strong and influential presence in Canada. Energy, which is a major challenge. There are many investors in the energy sector. And so we have told the Ministry of Energy to open up to anyone who wants to come and set up thermal power plants in Burkina Faso to produce and work with Sonabel. They are welcome as long as it's done properly, and I think there is no problem with that. Since all industries will inevitably need energy. So, for those coming for industry and those coming for energy, I think there is a clear correlation that can be established. In addition to all this, I would also like to involve you, the Burkina Bay business operators, the Chamber of Commerce. So in the past, there have been several instances where business operators have scammed people coming from elsewhere, have defrauded, have deceived. And I want you to place above all other values the integrity of Burkina Faso. These are things that we will not tolerate and that we will crack down on with the utmost severity if we learn that someone who came from abroad to invest in Burkina Faso has been betrayed by a Burkina Bay. So I call on everyone here as witnesses so that everything can be done properly according to the rules of the art. So, in terms of security and transport infrastructure, Burkina Faso is playing its part. We are fighting on the ground to reclaim all of our territory, to be able to secure all investments, but we are also working hard to build many roads so that you can move goods and everything else freely and safely. So once again, I welcome you, and I hope that everyone can benefit from this forum, whether it's a B2B, as you like to say, whether investors can meet each other or connect with the relevant organizations so that we can get things started. The path to Burkina Faso's development, together with the friends of Burkina Faso. Global geopolitics has changed, and I believe that those of you here are our closest friends, and together we can make a real difference. And so each of us, with mutual respect, will be able to benefit from the current situation. Thank you very much to everyone. I hope that each and every one of you returns home in excellent health, and that very soon Burkina Faso will see new industries spring up as a result of this meeting. I will personally oversee anyone who comes to invest in Burkina Faso to ensure that things proceed quickly and transparently. Thank you very much.